Hey you all, it's Talia again, and I'm just gonna ramble here, and if you want to listen, that's fine. If you don't, then just move on and use someone else's video. I don't really know what I'm gonna talk about right now. I just wanna talk. Nobody's here, and I'm home alone by myself. My boyfriend's working, and I'm not going to get to update a lot in the near future because this is my only week that I have left off and from work, and my camera is at my boyfriend's house, which he lives an hour away from where I live. And of course I can't have the camera hooked up at my work, and I can't videotape myself at work because, we can't have all that crap at work, as you know. So I won't be able to make video updates quite often from there. I'll only be able to make updates on the weekends when I can get a chance. When the kids are in bed or something like that. And most of the time they sleep where the computer is, so I'll have to make random tapings. I'm hoping to get a new computer, like a laptop or something like that, for Christmas. If my brother and sister-in-law are very gracious, but I don't know if they will be so gracious or not, so we shall see. That's the only thing I really want for Christmas, and if they would get me that for Christmas and my birthday together as one gift, that's all I would want. But anyway, on to other topics. I think in my last video I was trying to explain some of the things that bother me, as far as these are things that people really don't know. My therapist knows, and my therapist knows. My psychiatrist, he just they just okay, this is what's wrong. They listen to the therapist, and they say, okay, this is what's wrong. And they shout the drugs and try to make you feel better. The psychiatrist shells out the drugs and makes you feel better. Anyway, my therapist is a very good woman, and she keeps in contact with me and is always there when I need her. I have OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and among other things, and I have trouble with making sure that everything is locked and double checked and rechecked and quadruple checked. Like when you leave your house, I have to make sure that the doors are all checked, every lock is checked, I can't just check it one time, it has to be checked twice. Sometimes it has to be checked 3 times. It's just insane. I don't know if anybody ever saw a documentary on it or not. There was one on TV that showed some guys and women doing this, and I also saw on YouTube where they made fun of people with OCD doing this, and it's not something to be made fun of. It's a very serious problem. Anyway, if you don't understand it, that's fine, and I understand that as well, but it's just, you continuously check things. And you know in your own mind that it is locked, but you just keep doing it, and you can't stop yourself. Another one thing, or for example, would be I can't use my stove at home to cook. I don't cook because I'm afraid if I turn the stove on that it will never go off. And even though I never use my stove, I check it every time I leave the house. I check it at least 5 or 6 times to make sure every burner is turned off. I think that I do this because my father always instilled in me that every light in the house had to be turned off. Every light in the house had to be turned off. Everything had to be checked. All the doors had to be locked. And I know this is so silly, but in case the water was left running, all the toilets had to be not left running. So make sure that, he would always say to Leah, now, did you make sure that that toilet had stopped running? And it drove me completely, totally insane. And when I went home for Thanksgiving, knowing my insanity in this area, what does the fucker do? Excuse my language. I love my dad. I honestly love my dad. But knowing the problems that I'm having right now, what does he do? He says, did you turn out that light? Did you check back there? Did you check and see if you turned off your electric blanket? Did you do this? Did you check that? Did you check this? Did you check that? I'm like, Dad, if you do not believe me, just please go check it yourself because I can't check it no more. I can't do it no more. So he said, okay. And what does he do? He goes back and double checks me. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's driving me up the wall. I'm sorry. I'm getting on a rant now. And another thing that he does is he constantly tells me that I must check my oil in my truck. You know, I understand that it's important because my vehicle is getting older now and it does use some oil, and I am a woman, and I would like a man to take care of those things for me, but I also know that that's my responsibility too. But he goes to the extreme of just constantly saying, you've got to make sure it's to this point, to that point, you've got to check your oil, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. He brings the dipstick into the home, into our house, and points to where the mark should be of the oil on the stick. I'm thinking, my God, when does it ever end? And people wonder why I'm going insane. I mean, for God's sakes, people wonder why I'm fucking going insane. Anyway, I'm sorry about ranting and raving, but I can't seem to get any better because, and my dad wants me to come home. He wants me to come home. He thinks that if I come home and I get off all my medication and stop seeing my doctors, and come home, that I'm going to be okay. That just being around family and loving family and blah, 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 that I'm going to be just fine and hunky-dory. Well, I am so fucking sorry, but I am not going to be okay. And my anxiety goes up so bad when I'm at home. My stomach is in knots, and I feel like vomiting all the time. I'm about ready to run out of time, and I still have stuff I want to rant about. So I guess I'm going to have to continue this. I didn't realize how much anger I had in me, and if you don't want to listen to this, I completely understand. But it's helping me vent, so I guess it's worth it. And I'll continue it. Bye.